Hi, this is Mr. Wilbur, trying to give you some multiplication strategy tips for you to work with your child at home. I know sometimes the algorithm we use currently is not the one you were used to, so this is just my attempt to help you work with your child at home. On the board we have a problem 24 times 38. "24 is my top factor and 38 is my bottom factor. And traditionally what we would do is we would multiply the ones from the bottom factor times the ones of the top factor, and the ones of the bottom factor times the 2 of the top factor, which would result in 8 times 4 is 32, carry the 3, 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 is 19, and then we place a 0 here for a placeholder. This placeholder actually represents that we're now multiplying by the number 30 instead of the number 38. So our answer has to end in a 0 since it's a multiple of 10. Now we take 3 times 4, which is 12. Carry the 1, 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 1, which is 7. What I've created here are partial products of the 1s times the top factor and the 10s times the top factor. To get my final product, all I have to do is add my two partial products together. So I end up with 912. Now, the break apart method that we use a lot in 5th grade now is part of the distributive property of multiplication. It's very similar to what you see in its final outcome, but a little bit different in the way the students see it. Makes it easier for the students. We'll take the same problem of 24 times 38, and I'm going to leave the top factor alone. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this bottom factor down into the value of each digit. So the value of the 3 in our original problem was 30. And the value of 8 in our original problem was 8. Now again, one of the little shortcuts that we show the students is when you're multiplying any number by a multiple of 10, your answer is always going to end in 0. So we go ahead and place the 0 here, and now we're finished with that 0 in our bottom factor. Now all the students have to do is multiply their top factor times the lone digit left over. So 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 7. And you'll notice that this partial product matches actually the second line of our partial product in the standard algorithm. And then we do the same over here. We take our 8 times our 4, which is 32, and we carry the 3. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 is 19. So again, this factor, this partial product, matches our partial product in our standard algorithm. So when I combine these two numbers together again, I get 912. So either algorithm works. Sometimes this works better for a student using a traditional algorithm. Sometimes break apart method works better. Hopefully this gives you a better idea of how your child is doing their multiplication method if they're using break apart.